Welcome back, party people. You are listening to Crossplay, our video game podcast here at the Whatnots. It is Saturday, January 16th, 2021, and coming up on today's show, we will be talking about the announcement of Lucasfilm games and what that means for the future of Star Wars games. We also have some more news on the messy launch and the future of Cyberpunk 2077, as well as a bunch of new and exciting release dates for games coming this year and beyond, including the new Pokemon Snap. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined, as always, by Ignacio Rojas.
Hey.
What's going on, Ignacio?
I'm doing really good.
Really well.
Just the two. Damn it.
Really well.
I was gonna say it being just the two of us.
You guys also heard the voice of Alan Busby.
Hello, bonjour. Other languages.
And rounding out our podcast is Gino Viteri, who thinks he can fire me from the podcast.
Yeah, I did already, though.
No,
it's written in stone.
No, not firing, Kyle. It says fired.
Hot take.
So I hit record, actually already happened.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know what I'm forgetting. Do you guys ever get that feeling where
yeah, all the time.
Like you're just going about your day, but you're like, I'm forgetting something.
Like keys, wallet, pants. Did I put on pants?
Wow, I
don't know.
How are you forgetting? How are you forgetting pants?
Hey man, no pants are the best.
Yeah, the
pants.
pandemic.
I got my pants on, so what am I forgetting?
Dude, I never lounge in anything. Like, I don't even lounge in shorts. I either lounge in pants or I lounge in just like
jeans?
In workout pants.
Like jeans?
I mean, like also like the chino style pants, like not jean material. Like sometimes they're jeans, sometimes they're not. But like I never just lounge in like boxers or just like nothing.
Have you guys ever?
I need my lower body to be covered.
Have you ever slept in your jeans?
Yeah.
I mean, I've taken naps in them, like at school or something, way back in the day, because I'm old now.
If you do a full night of sleep in your jeans, you're a serial killer, probably.
Oh, damn. I mean, I woke up and my legs were like sweaty AF.
Yeah. That's what happens.
That will happen.
And with that, let's get on to apparently the first order of business. What is this? Ignacio, explain yourself.
Okay, so just like it says here in the show notes, first order of business, I won.
Even though it wasn't the first thing we did.
I won. Kyle, you lost. Trust me, you lost by a lot.
What are we talking about?
What game did I sign up for?
Oh, well. So, since you don't remember, let me refresh your mind. So, about a year ago...
is this our fantasy draft thing?
Exactly. You, me, and Mick, about a year ago, signed up for this Fantasy Critic page where we each got to draft our picks for the games of 2020 and just to see which ones would rank the highest, and it would be a bit of a competition. The thing is that we kind of said that we would go back to it, periodically.
Mick stepped down and he's now off doing his own thing. So I just kind of figured it was dead in the water.
And we forgot. So the other day I just decided to go back to it and see what happened. I mean, we only had 5 picks at the beginning. We were supposed to go back and pick more games. Since we simply just forgot, we never picked. So, Kyle, I'm going to drop you the link right here in the doc.
Okay.
Alan and Gino, unfortunately, you will not be able to see it because apparently it's hidden.
Oh, do I have to
I see it.
in? Is it going to let me?
Yeah, but if you try to go into the link,
it also says for me I don't have permission to view this league. I might be signed in to the wrong thing.
Yeah, probably you're not signed in. Well, so
I'm not a sports guy anyway. I don't understand the whole fantasy thing. You just pick like Imaginary players?
No, for the game fantasy critic, what you would do is at the beginning of the year you would pick 5 games.
Okay.
And you would say these are the 5 games I think that would rank the highest in Metacritic or whatever critic aggregator you're using.
Okay.
And depending on the score that they get, you would get certain amount of points. And as the year keeps going, you get a certain amount of budget and you are able to bid on other games throughout the year. That would of course pop up throughout the year. And by the end, the one who had the most score would win. The highest score would win. And so just to summarize, I won. I got 82.87 points.
Okay.
Second place was Kyle with 50.39.
Well, that's a big gap.
Jeez.
And at the last place was Mick with 14.
Wow.
Yikes. I had some wild picks. Like
I'm not even gonna say Nick lost.
I had
Nick got destroyed.
Well, Kyle,
think I had like Neo 2 in there or something. I was like, I think that one will do okay.
Well, no. So I have your picks here. You had Cyberpunk, Animal Crossing, Ghost of Tsushima, 12 Minutes, and Half-Life Alyx. The thing is that 12 Minutes never came out.
Right.
So you got 0 points there.
Damn.
For Mick, who had 14 points at the end, 3 of his games didn't come out.
Damn. Oh, man.
He had The Last of Us Part 2, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which both got a good amount of points. But then he had Elden Ring, Axiom Verge 2, and Halo Infinite.
Wow, man.
And those 3 didn't come out.
What
did you have, Ignacio?
14. And for me, I had Final Fantasy VII Remake, Doom Eternal, Resident Evil 3, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and Neo 2. And all 5 of those came out.
Wow.
2. Okay.
Oh, that's
and so I won.
Good list.
Clean
So-
sweep.
Congratulations.
Almost.
Kyle, you owe me, let's say, 2 pizzas.
2.
Pizzas.
Jeez.
I can see 1 pizza.
Well, Mick
No,
is not
no,
here,
no.
so you will have to pick up his.
No,
Is
you
that
get
what
them. You just get them. No, Kyle. The thing is, you just get them 2 of the smallest size pizzas.
2 bagel
Ever.
bites.
Yeah,
We should do that for 2021.
2
Yeah,
small
that's-
pizzas.
So that's what I wanted to propose, actually. Kyle, I know we are supposed to record a Patreon exclusive episode. One of the ideas that I was floating was maybe we do this as Patreon exclusives
Oh,
We could do
yeah.
that.
and
That
actually
is a good
commit
idea, yeah.
to playing it. Because none of us spent any money on it. We all started with a budget of $100 and no one used it.
Mm,
I gotcha.
I'm down.
Okay.
I'm down for sure.
I'm down.
Sure. We'll talk about that after this is done. We'll figure that stuff out. But yes, we do need to get going on our next Patreon exclusive thing. So good idea.
So at the end of the day, the most important thing here is that I won.
Okay. All right.
All hail Ignacio.
Thank you.
There you go. Gino,
Yes.
what have you been playing? You have something written down here that you mentioned it like on stream not too long ago. Well, I'll mention more about that. But you have a game that I've never heard of.
So
Herbs.
I have been playing Eternal Return Black Survival. That's a real name.
Is there any
I
clone here? There?
The acronym is
subtitle?
Herbs.
Herbs.
The subtitle is Black Survival, I guess.
Okay.
It would be Eternal Return and subtitle Black Survival. So this game, I hopped on Steam and I was like, I just want to play a random game. I don't know, something I've never seen before, something I've never heard of. I just want to play something new. And I hopped on Steam and I looked around and this game popped up and I clicked it and it said, this is a battle royale, the first battle royale MOBA of its kind. And I was like, oh wow, that sounds super interesting. And I looked at videos and I went on Twitch and I saw people playing it, but it's all Japanese people. So I was like, oh damn it. And
Typical.
Then, and this game is exactly like League of Legends, but a battle royale with anime waifus, and that's all the right words to get me to try it. So
Okay.
I tried it, played a few matches. I've been playing it every day since I started it, and I won my first match the other day because everyone died
Hey.
except one person that I fought early on, that I killed them, and then everyone else just died to random things. So that's how I won my first match, which is awesome. But people are getting so good at it, and I don't know how to play, and I'm still learning, and it's freaking fun, and I can't wait to keep playing it.
All right.
How does this mix? Because you said it was a MOBA and battle royale mixed.
Yeah. So I guess not the MOBA. It's MOBA style because you know how they have like you have the aerial camera and
Yeah, over the top.
You click your character. Point to click, and then you have the QWER for your skills. That's what it takes for MOBAs, as the QWER skill, the way you attack and stuff, and point to click. But so the main point is survival. You're pretty much finding materials around the map.
Okay.
You choose where you spawn randomly on the map, and you're finding materials along with, I think it's 17 other people that are in the map as well. So you're finding materials to build better gear. You want to build a better, based off the different characters that you have. You're either building, there's brawlers, there's people that have guns, there's people that have swords, there's people that throw shurikens, stuff like that. So you're trying to build the highest possible level of your shuriken, gun, sword, and whatever. And then you're also doing your helmet, your armor, and all that stuff. So you're trying to get powerful. Farming materials levels you up. Fighting little monsters on the map levels you up. And killing players levels you up. So pretty much the point of it is being the last one alive. And that's it. That's the battle royale aspect. I don't know. It's such a different kind of battle royale that I hope it gets more attention. But because of how bad of a name it is, I don't think it will. I feel like they need to change that.
Black Survival.
I don't even understand how they came up with that name. It has nothing to do with that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't even know. So it's weird.
Like, is there a story that's mixed in there? Like, is there some kind of narrative? No. So,
like, you know how, like, in like for MOBAs, they have the names of the characters, like they're either champions or in Apex, they're legends and stuff like that. Here, we're called experiments, and that's I don't know. That's as far as that explanation goes, though. So I don't know. I don't even know.
So it's really just a gameplay game. It's just a gamey game.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like a little farming. You just farm materials and you level up, and then you fight whoever you see. It's pretty cool.
I'm wondering if like Eternal Return, like if there is some kind of narrative in there, or if there was previous games. If this is a series,
I should look into the people that made it. Yeah, I gotta look into that. But
could it almost be one of those games where like it does have like lore and story, but it's kind of like the Dark Souls games where like you kind of have to like read descriptions of stuff to kind of find lore or something?
It does not feel like that at all.
Okay.
Or like most other MOBAs, I would say.
Yeah, it's just
like the League, I think, has a story somewhere in there.
Yeah, each of their. I mean, there's descriptions for the characters when you play them. Like when you want to choose a different character, they have their own little descriptions, but just based off of who they are, what they are, but not anything wider than that. So it's a weird game that I just found randomly. I think it has a good viewership on Twitch because I think it just came out. And they have like the Twitch drops and all that stuff, so they're trying to put themselves out there, which I hope works out for them because it is a cool idea.
Yeah. And how much
are you big into MOBAs?
It was free.
Oh, sorry. It was free. Okay.
And I play League a lot. That's pretty much it.
Oh,
yeah.
I've tried on so many times to get into League, and I literally just can't. I think
Yeah,
I've tried
me
to get
too.
into League, I think 4 different times, and I just can't.
League is one of those games that I absolutely despise, but continue to play it. And it's also given me such hard skin because I've been told to kill myself every single
Dude,
day I play.
that community is toxic
Yeah.
as hell.
They have the most toxic community ever.
Dude, it really is.
It's so funny. I'm part of
Yeah.
it. I'm part of it. Yeah.
Right.
That's what
Let's
I've been
go
playing.
over to Alan. What have you been up to the past couple weeks here?
So I've played a lot. I mean, I played other games, but I listed my big ones. With the re-release of Dragon Quest XI-S, which isn't even really a re-release because it was originally Dragon Quest XI on the PlayStation. Then the S version, like I guess the better version, came out for Switch. Then it finally came back to PlayStation.
Yeah,
And
it's like the port of the Switch version.
Yeah, and like
That's
I mean,
funny.
it's good. I played the original game to platinum and to completion. I liked it. Except for kind of when it transitions between like its Act 1 and Act 2, it adds like a whole bunch of extra cutscenes and gameplay segments to see what your party was doing. But other than that, I haven't noticed too much else about the game that's different at all. So it's just kind of the same game. But it's been fun to play, and I know its post game is like dramatically enhanced, so like I'm almost there to see it, but that's all I have on Dragon Quest. Other than that though, I did play the Little Nightmares 2 demo actually yesterday on stream, and with the Yes 9 demo, the Monstrum Nox, and a little while ago I also played the Monster Hunter Rise demo as well. So
demo
I
week
played all
for
the
you.
I played all the demos, and just like small thoughts, like Little Nightmares 2, that game is really good. I didn't actually fully play the first one. I watched Amy kind of played it with her, and so this was my first time like hands-on, like actually like kind of diving into Little Nightmares. The demo's not very long. I'd say it's maybe about like, depending on if you know what to do, it's like 15-ish minutes. It's not very long, but the game looks very pretty. It's very good. It comes out like very soon, like I think February 10th or something.
Yeah.
And it's spooky. It's exciting. I mentioned this on another show, but Amy, who is not on any of my content anywhere, we might be streaming that game live when it comes out, because Amy is like you, Gino, and Kyle, where she can't handle scary games. So she's going to play it while I'm kind of co-hosting and kind of hanging out with her while she plays it. So that'll be exciting when that comes out.
Nice.
That should be fun.
Yeah, the Yes 9 demo, I've only really played Yes 9 and Yes 8, Yes 8. And I like it. It's kind of like this arcadey, just dungeon crawler where it's just action combat. It's really hard to describe what Yes kind of is, but it's just it's got a lot of story because it's an RPG, but it's just a very action, like third-person action game. I would say almost like the Fantasy Fighters where it's the mob battles, but not quite. But it's similar to that. And that game's really fun.
Yeah, I played it too. It's like, I guess you could compare it to Tales, sort of.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Tales game, but not quite as restrictive, like with a bit more freedom in the combat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Yes 9 was really cool. The demo very strict. It's like, hey, here's 2 areas to explore and to fight the boss, and you can play for 10 minutes, and that's it. So yeah, you'll be in the middle of a fight, and it'll just cut to black and it'll go, thanks for playing. Do you want to pre-order the game? I'm like, bro, I was in the middle of a fight.
I didn't even notice that 10 minutes had passed, so I think I'm gonna get it. This is a Switch game as well, right?
I believe so. Yes. And this game comes out even sooner. This game I think comes out like February 3rd.
Yeah, it's a perfect Switch game.
Yeah, Yes 9 comes out like right at the beginning of February, and Little Nightmares 2 like literally just over a week into February. And then a while back I played Monster Hunter Rise demo, and maybe it's honestly because of all the Monster Hunter World that I've played, but Rise feels almost kind of sluggish. Like Amy actually didn't like the demo, and I played it, and I'm kind of lukewarm on it. Like I'm gonna play it again to try to really give it a shot, but I feel kind of lukewarm on it weirdly. But I'm a Monster Hunter guy now, so I gotta believe, I gotta play it.
You gotta play.
But yeah, I think it's because of my muscle memory is so engraved to the mechanics of World that Rise feels the same, but just mechanically different enough that it kind of throws off my rhythm that I have. So it's probably just learning pains.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of game that should have come up before World.
Yeah.
Kind of. Well, World was kind of a different thing that they did, because World was a lot more of kind of an introductory game, where Rise is kind of more akin to like what the series really is, where it's kind of like a bit more of It's Rise, as what Amy told me, Rise plays more like what Monster Hunter is supposed to be. Yeah. World was kind of an easier game to introduce people to the series, ergo me, I guess, but
really.
So yeah, Rise is definitely more true to what Monster Hunter kind of is, with some of the quality of life improvements that World added.
Also,
But,
you never played
yeah.
Monster Hunter before World?
No. World
Oh,
was my
okay.
first. Was my first shot into Monster
Yeah,
Hunter.
because Rise is a lot more like the older Monster Hunters.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Now,
And it's really cool. The style. Sorry.
But just one quick
Yeah.
question. When you say it's more like the older Monster Hunter games, does that mean like more challenging mechanically, more involved? What does that mean?
I would say it's more challenging. So like World kind of made the combat, like when you first play it, the combat feels kind of like, it does feel a little bit stiff, but you kind of get used to it. Where the best way I can describe it is Rise feels a lot more like you really need, like in World I could just power through a battle and just get hit and tank through and just kind of literally just mash through a battle. Rise, at least with the mechanics that are in it, where it has these weird wire bugs where you can almost kind of like grapple yourself around, it definitely makes the combat more engaging, which makes it, I guess, harder. Because instead of having freeform dodging like World, I guess, does, which it still has that, but it feels more sluggish. Because in the demo, you're meant to collect these bugs that kind of raise your defense, your speed, your strength, and all kinds of stats. So like at the beginning, you are actually fairly sluggish, and there's kind of like a delay to your actions. Because I think you're meant to explore the environment and use the environment to help you fight monsters by getting these upgrades or ability power-ups to enhance your combat experience. And now, so like the one example I'll give you is like, I use the longsword. And you can do like a helm splitter where you'll stab the monster, leap up in the air, and slam down on them. You can't do that normally in Rise anymore. It's tied to this thing called the wire bug, where you have to expend a wire bug that launches you, that pulls you, like kind of grapples you into the enemy. You'll kick them. And if you kick them, then you can hit, like, I guess, another button, and then you'll go into a Helmbreaker. So it really ties the wire bug mechanic into combat. So instead of just being like, oh, I'm just going to do dodge rolling and attacking, you have to kind of really get into Rise's new mechanics to really get the most out of combat. So it's a lot more, it has way more technicality to it, which makes it harder because it's not as just simple up front, if that makes any sense.
I guess World is simpler than this, because I played through all of World, and I know that I feel like I didn't even need to get to the more intricate mechanics of it with the bugs and the farming. And I know there's a lot of things that I didn't even touch, and I finished the story. And so what you're saying is that this game requires you more to be engaged with the deeper mechanics.
Yeah, because like one of the other things, the wire bug, you can actually just expend a wire bug and use it to just kind of grapple the air to launch yourself forward to kind of close distance. So in World, if you wanted to get closer, you would have to either just keep dodge rolling to roll towards the monster or just walk towards them normally. But in Rise, you can do the same thing, but you're really encouraged to use the wire bugs to grapple closer to close distance, to use the wire bug to dodge, but they also are on a recharge, so you can't just spam it. So you really have to be a lot more conscious of everything going on around you. And it makes it like there's a beginner and an intermediate monster in the demo. And I think I tried on stream like 3 times to beat the intermediate monster, and I failed every time. And then I played it off stream, and it took me 2 more attempts to beat him a single time. And that's considering how much I've played World and how good I am at that game, that Rise is like kicking my ass.
Yeah.
So there you go. Good stuff though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Demos.
Indeed. I will go next. I really haven't played much this past week, especially, but I did restart or start playing Halo 3 again, because I've been slowly making my way through all of the Halo games. That's been fun. I've played all of the ones that Bungie made except for ODST, so I'm excited to get to that one since I have that on Master Chief Collection through Game Pass.
Nice.
But really, I just wanted to give 2 more shout outs to 2 of the games that I mentioned on our Game of the Year podcast last week. First of all, Call of the Sea, which did not make my top 10 list, but I still really liked this a lot, and I want more people to go check it out. This is a puzzle game, kind of like Myst, like a first-person puzzle exploring game. You are trying to track down your husband, who went to the island of Tahiti to help find a cure for your disease. And you guys are both architects, or not? Excuse me, not architects. You're archaeologists. And so he gets there, and he's there for a while, and then he stops responding and stuff. And so you're like, that's not a good thing. So you go look to go look for him, and you get there, and the island is abandoned and everything's a mess. And so you're kind of trying to solve these puzzles to figure out what happened and where he is, and if you can catch up to him. But it does this really, I guess I wouldn't say it's super interesting, but it was interesting for me, that by the end of the game, you have to make a decision of what you want to do and how you want the game to end, based on the things that you saw and what you think of the characters and stuff like that. So I liked that it wasn't just like, okay, you solved the final puzzle, that's it, you're done. It's like, okay, now that you've spent some time with the characters and stuff like that, how do you think the game should end? So that was neat. I enjoyed that.
Are there like a lot of different endings, or is it just two?
It's just two. No. But yeah, there are some like secret things you can find in all the puzzles and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a good game. It was only like 6 hours long, so it's super short. Highly recommend going to check it out. And then last but not least, I also want to give a shout out to Umurangi Generation, which ended up being my number 3 game of the year for 2020. Guys, this game was awesome. I loved this game. I had heard it being talked about on Waypoint Radio on that podcast, and didn't really pay much attention to it. It sounded neat, but then when they kind of got to their like end of the year, like, okay, let's actually sit down and talk about these games, kind of had it spoiled for me. But it was like in a way that was like, oh man, now I need to go and play that and experience that. And I did, and holy moly, it was great. It's this like small photography game. So if you guys like the like photo modes and stuff in like Ghost of Tsushima or Spider-Man and stuff like that, it's basically taking that and making making an entire game with that, where you're given like photography prompts. You're inside a level and you have to go find things that match that, and take a picture of those. And it seems really simple just by explaining it like that, and it is like it's not a complex game, but man, they tell the entire story just through like environmental storytelling. It's things you read, it's the graffiti on the wall, it's the signs, it's the newspapers, it's characters in the environment that are just kind of standing there. It's neat. And so if you guys like giant kaiju and giant mechs and stuff like that, please check this game out because it is amazing.
Yeah, like super interesting.
Yeah, it has like PS1 style graphics.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of like Jet Set Radio, like that style to the way things look. But yeah, it's good. I cannot recommend this game enough. It was amazing.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
Nice.
Ignacio, let's go to you.
So I other than the games that I already took for Game of the Year, which I think would only be Spider-Man Miles Morales. Thinking about it,
Mhm.
I'd already talked about that one. So the other two games that I have really been playing is that are Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami.
Ah.
So for a while now, I have been wanting to go back to these games because these games are great. What can I say? They are really good. So, Alan, I know that there's one game that you forgot to mention or that you didn't include in your list.
Yakuza 0?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So before
I
I
haven't
talk about it,
I
would like
haven't
you
I
to
haven't
talk
played it
about
in a while, and I already like, I mean, I'm not very far in it, so I don't have like too much to talk about on it. I mean, but
So we did figure out that weird like streaming thing that you were like, why is the green not working on there?
yeah,
It was
we did figure that
exactly
out.
What you guys thought it would?
Yep,
you
it
guys
was the
had
chroma key.
Yeah, a chroma key on something, and you just had to turn it off.
Alan, why haven't you played it?
Well, I mean, like I haven't played it because I've been super engrossed in Hollow Knight, so like I've been playing that on stream and doing the whatnot stream like Wednesday when Kyle mentions that, haha, little spoiler guys, teaser. But yeah, I've just gotten really I've honestly just gotten really into Hollow Knight, and I've been devoting my time to like playing Hollow Knight in my free time and on stream because I'm just trying really hard to like design a route because I really want to casually speedrun that game. And plus, like on our Game of the Year episode, you razzed me a little bit about streaming Yakuza 0. So
Yeah.
I usually games that aren't in my top priority list to play, like Dragon Quest and things like that, I save games that I'm not like that I don't want to just binge hour after hour after hour on. Like I play the like Dragon Quest, I want to play all the time, so I play that off stream. Games that I can play in like big bursts would be like Yakuza or my other stuff that I save for stream. But since you were like, hey, you know, you gotta pay attention to the story, don't stream Yakuza 0. So because I haven't streamed it as much, I haven't really had any desire to go back to it yet. Not that I don't like it, I still like it. I just haven't
That's fair.
really bothered to go back.
I still recommend that you don't play it on stream because seeing you not paying attention to very crucial scenes as a fan, it really
Yeah, and I mean I understand that, and like I mean because you really like it and all that, but my point still stands that like there even like when the story of Yakuza 0, when the story has like a good cutscene, it's interesting. The game sucks me in, but like I also like more actiony stuff, so like I like cutscenes and story, but if the story isn't really captivating me, I just kind of like, okay, yeah, things are happening, let me just kind of like laugh at what's going on, because it's not Yakuza 0 story is good. Like the very beginning before events happen, it was kind of like, oh, this is kind of boring, I don't really care what's happening. But then the whole thing where, spoiler I guess, where Kiryu leaves the Yakuza, the story got really good. But now because I'm doing a bunch of side stuff and like trying to like, I guess, find the stupid like business company, like things have gotten kind of boring again. So now when story happens, I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. But
I would just recommend that, well, first of all, if you can, don't play it on stream.
Yeah.
Again.
Well.
But the other thing is that I would recommend that you do not play through the side quests.
No, but that's how I play games though. Like that's just how I want to play it.
Okay. Well, going back to my thoughts on Yakuza.
Yeah.
Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami, honestly, they are great games. First of all, both have great stories. It really is a thing of the game starts. I made this analogy before. It's kind of like going up a hill. It just keeps going up and up and up and up, and the stakes are getting higher and higher, and somehow it gets more ridiculous, but it still makes sense. And I love it so much for that. And then the other side of it is the combat. One of the things that I really missed when playing Yakuza Like a Dragon was the combat of the Yakuza games up until then has been always like a brawler, which has been more of an action game. And I really think that gameplay fits more the narrative, because it is, in a way, it is a crime drama, but still feels a lot like a samurai story or a old western story, where this hero gets to this one place and has to fight off or solve all the problems of the people, and that, plus the fact that you are entrenched in all of this crime story, it all lends itself so well to action that I think having it being turn-based makes a disservice to the whole story.
Interesting.
Or the whole game. Yeah, more than that, those are great games, and I highly recommend people play the Yakuza games, starting with Zero.
I'm hoping to go back to that one this year, because I played through Yakuza Kiwami 2 years ago now. I feel like, I don't know, but yeah, that's one of my goals this year, is to play through Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll eventually get through it. I just don't know how consistent I'll get to it.
You guys might hear a lot of Yakuza talk this year on the podcast if Ignacio's replaying them and I go play Yakuza 0 and
I play
Alan
them.
is streaming it every now and then.
I don't think I will replay all of them. I think I went back to Yakuza 0 because that's the one that I played the longest ago. And so I played through the other one. I didn't have much of an intention to keep going. But once I finished, and then I realized that I didn't have any game to play really that was coming out, I decided to go to Kiwami because of one of the reasons that I think people should play Zero before Kiwami is that Zero and Kiwami are so connected. And even though Zero came out many, many, many years later, I think that it really is a good way to start the story that is presented in Kiwami. It is really a good way to start it with Zero, to know the people that are in there, because in a way Kiwami kind of, and Yakuza 1, which Kiwami is a remake of the first Yakuza, the characters already know each other, and so I think it is great to know how they started and how they got to where they are.
That's fair. Yeah.
So
makes sense.
I don't know if you can answer this, and if you just say no, you can't, then that's fine. From the gameplay intro trailer when I boot up Yakuza 0 and stuff, and even from the cover art, dude, who the hell is this dude with the eye patch?
Dude, you are so close to knowing it. If you had not gone through the side quest, you would have already known.
Because dude, he does in that little intro slice gameplay, he does some crazy shit, dude.
He is one of the best characters.
Yeah,
that's
the guy Kyle likes.
Oh, that's the dude Kyle likes. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I gotta
ridiculous.
Say that my only criticism of Zero is that when he is introduced, I'm not gonna say how he is introduced, but when he is introduced, the game kind of slows down. But luckily, it isn't for too long.
Okay.
I'll only say that.
Does it slow down for like a chapter or two, or just
maybe half a chapter, or maybe a whole chapter? I cannot remember. But
chapter 2 feels hella long.
It only feels long because you do not keep going.
I like to do everything in games that I play. That's my curse.
You just have to start enjoying games.
And
that's my curse.
Does nothing but become a mahjong streamer on Twitch.
That's one of the things that I want to bring up, is that there are a lot of things to do in the Yakuza games that have nothing to do with the stories. Kyle, like you said, you can play so much mahjong that you want. It is. The minigames there feel in a way like full games that you could buy somewhere else, but they were just included here. You got mahjong, you have karaoke,
bowling.
A karaoke minigame. You can go play baseball, you can go dancing, you can play with RC cards and so many other things.
Yeah.
Dude,
which
hell
add
yeah.
a lot to it.
Dude, hell yeah. I want to do all that stuff.
Yeah. And it
You'll
also
get there.
helps.
You'll get there.
It also helps making both Kamurocho and the other town that is in there feel more like real, lived-in places, because they have so many random things that aren't necessarily helping the story,
Yeah.
but they would be there in a regular town.
At least I bought healing items this time, though. You know, like I said it on stream. I was like, I'll buy healing items, and yeah, damn it, I did.
Yeah, and also brings me to another point. One of the great things that I think Yakuza 0 does so well is that thematically, the game is set in an era of Japan where everyone had a lot of money. It was during an economic bubble in the game, or in real world Japan.
Yeah.
And that whole idea translates so well into gameplay, because whenever you're fighting anyone, bills just keep flying off with every punch for no reason at all.
Yeah.
And you get so much money from every fight. And the prices, I would say that the prices for items, like healing items, are pretty much the same in every game. But in here, pretty much early on, you can just fill out your slots with the most expensive items, healing items.
I don't
Just
know,
because-
Ignacio. I'm not getting enough money to buy that fucking 30 million yen upgrade from my health.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. For upgrades in the game, also keeping up with the theme, you don't use experience points, you buy them.
30 million yen to increase my health. You kidding me? I beat up a
Well,
dude and he gives me
let's,
like 5,000 yen.
Let's move things on here. Let's
Yeah.
go into
Yeah, I'm still here.
housekeeping. And
Gino, do you want to play?
Gino,
I'm still here.
Come on.
I'm here, man.
do I convince you?
I'm
I will never play Yakuza.
Ooh.
one day.
I will not. Maybe.
Well, let's get on into our housekeeping. If you guys did not know, we have multiple podcasts here at The Whatnots. You guys can find out more information on our website, which is thewhatnots.com, or on your favorite podcasting platform of choice. Just type in The Whatnots and all of our shows will pop up right there. If you guys like what we do, patreon.com/thewhatnots is where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. We have a $3 tier, which gets you all kinds of exclusive content from all of our shows. So be on the lookout for all of that stuff. And like we said at the top, we might do a video game fantasy draft here in the near future. So be on the lookout for that as well. A big shout out to our Patreon supporters at the $5 tier. Thank you so much, Sam, for helping us out and supporting us. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Always
Indeed.
appreciative.
A couple other things. Go check out our Game of the Year podcast, which we did last week. And yeah, that was a little bit of a long one, but I think it was good. I had a blast. And you guys can
I don't know. No more a good
check
Rob.
out
Let's be
all that
honest.
stuff.
Number 3 will surprise you.
Cuphead.
No, your number 3 will surprise you.
Cuphead.
So
It
again,
surprised us for sure.
as the usual tease thing, go watch the Game of the Year one. Did I try to really put Cuphead at number 3? You'll have to watch it and find out.
Alan's Game of the Year for 2021 is going to be Dragon Quest 11.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. A little sneak peek. I almost put DQ. I was gonna put DQ 11 in my top 10, but from playing all I did, and it was literally no different because I didn't hit end of Act 1 yet. I was like, this game is literally the same. I'm not gonna put it in top 10.
Cool.
Well,
Good
good to
thinking.
hear that you restrain
Anyways.
yourself.
Last but not least for housekeeping, we have kind of officially started Whatnots Wednesdays. We are hoping that every Wednesday night, we don't know the exact time yet. I'm sure over the course of this next month, we will settle into something that works. But we are hoping to stream on our Twitch channel every Wednesday night. So you guys can find us at twitch.tv/thewhatnots. And come hang out with us. Come play some video games.
Think about it. It's the Whatnots Wednesdays. It's a win-win because they're
Yeah.
both W's.
There you go. Exactly. This past week, I joined Alan as he was trying to figure out the best speed run route for Hollow Knight. Is that what it was? I don't know.
Kyle distracted me enough that I got lost, but we also didn't die, so ultimately his plan failed.
Yeah, I'm hoping to make him die by distracting him. But
don't worry, the route is coming along fine. My notes are like hella insane. I've got like 11 tabs open of the Hollow Knight wiki just trying to figure shit out.
There you go. I think I will be streaming something this week. I think Alan, you're joining me this week as well. But yeah, we're hoping to get Gino on there. We're hoping to get Ignacio on there. Of course. Yeah, we're just hoping to have a good time. Maybe even Melissa can come hang out one night and stuff like that.
I casually pitched the funny idea, Ignacio, that like even though because it's not fit for streaming, as you say, how funny would it be if we just did like a Whatnots Wednesdays of me streaming Yakuza and you're just joining me, just yelling at me the whole time, like, no, pay attention.
No, I have thought of it. I would like to do that. You play Yakuza 0 and I explain to you what's going on.
What if we did that and I didn't do the side stories and you just told me where to go to make it faster and we just tried to binge through it quickly?
I have considered it. Trust me.
We could do that.
I have considered it.
Yeah.
So we are working on that. I'm sure as we continue doing it, we will get better and it'll start looking a little bit nicer. But yeah, we're just kind of putting our feelers out there right now with that. And I think it's going well so far. And I am excited about that. But that wraps us up for housekeeping. The house has been kept. Let's get on to the news of the week. Number 1, Disney has announced Lucasfilm Games. They put out a press release this past week, and it says Lucasfilm's legacy in gaming stretches back decades, and with Lucasfilm and the galaxy far, far away entering a new and unprecedented phase of creativity, so will the world of Lucasfilm Games. Developed in collaboration with the finest studios across the industry. StarWars.com is thrilled to reveal that Lucasfilm Games is now officially the identity for all gaming titles from Lucasfilm, a name that encompasses the company's rich catalog of video games and its eye toward the future. There you go.
Yeah,
cool.
That's the first thing there. So what do you guys think of that?
I think this is pretty great because who was it that got into the deal with EA? Was it Lucasfilms or Disney?
Disney. It was Lucas.
Yeah, so
films.
That was one of probably the worst decisions they could have made. So I think it's awesome now that they're taking sort of that Marvel entertainment approach where they're going to have studios, different game studios pitch them games. So all this means is we're just going to be getting a bunch of awesome Star Wars games, just like we've got in, on the Marvel side of things, we've got in Spider-Man and what else have we got in? Well, Avengers isn't that great. But different Marvel properties that were getting made by different studios. Now we're going to see maybe Square Enix makes a Star Wars game, or maybe we'll see a Sony exclusive Star Wars games or a Xbox exclusive Star Wars game. So this just opens up a lot of opportunities for different studios to make Star Wars games, which is awesome.
For sure, it is at least a commitment from Disney and the people over at Lucas that they are committing to what they kind of already did with Marvel games, which is we are going to have our people, looking over all these games under the Lucas umbrella. And hopefully that means better quality from games, because we already had these situations like with the Battlefront games where people didn't receive those well. And I think maybe this is kind of like a response to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think looking back on the deal they had with EA, like I just feel like they were expecting more and to have them better received. Yeah, because I mean, it's not like Star Wars Battlefront 2 isn't a good game. From what I hear, it's actually pretty great. But
but there was that huge scandal of all the loot boxes, though. Like it was good, but it had a lot of controversy around it.
Yeah, it just launched with that scandal.
Yeah. I don't remember if it actually happened, if it leaked, or if it's something people were like theorizing. But I think Bob Iger or someone over higher up on Disney called up someone higher up in EA and told them, "What is up with what's this with the loot boxes thing or this whole controversy?"
I remember
the height of the, because if you don't remember when Battlefront 2 came out and it had all those loot boxes in there, it was such a huge controversy that it went not only throughout the gaming industry, but it did end up with the general public, where news outlets were reporting it and lawmakers were considering creating new laws for it. So it was a huge deal.
I can't remember. Didn't it almost hit like some Supreme Court or some kind of like have a casting if it was considered gambling? Like it went up that high. It was that big of a deal.
The senator that was pushing that here in the United States is also the one of the insurrectionists.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, but
oh my god.
I know in the US at least it didn't go anywhere. I do remember several lawmakers coming out saying that we will look into this. We cannot have gambling on things that children will play. But I think in places like, I think it was in the UK where it did go up into a high court, or it might have been turned into a law. I don't remember, but it did get high up there.
Yeah. So Disney obviously must be thrilled now that they got out of that deal with with EA.
Well, especially with what we'll talk about later.
Yeah. Moving on to that, actually.
Yeah, speaking of which, I started out the news, but I was supposed to toss it to Gino.
Yeah.
Because you were fired.
You were fired. Stepping on his
we can't have these fired people that haven't cleared out their desks reading the news. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
also, it has been like a month since we last recorded the show
normal
in its regular format. So
yeah.
Okay. So now that Disney announced Lucasfilm went on to announce even more things. So number 2, Lucasfilm Games. Why am I saying it like that? Lucasfilm Games and Bethesda announced a new Indiana Jones game.
Ooh.
So this comes over a press release released by Bethesda. Reads, today, Lucasfilm Games and Bethesda Softworks announced a new Indiana Jones game being developed by the award-winning studio Machine Games and executive produced by game industry icon Todd Howard of Bethesda Game Studios. The standalone adventure starring the legendary archaeologist will tell a wholly original tale set at the height of the career of the famed adventurer.
So this game's going to be buggy like Bethesda's Fallout games, right?
No, it is Machine
Games.
Games.
By
so
Machine Games, who
those
makes
are good.
Wolfenstein.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I just know this is just the whole joke of like Bethesda games are usually buggy.
So
that's
raises
proper, I think.
It being Machine Games raises a question for me. This has to be a third-person action adventure game, correct?
I mean, you would assume that. I think that for Indiana Jones, it would be better for it to be third-person action.
It would make the most sense, I think.
Yeah. Especially because with games like Uncharted and Tomb Raider, you would have to go that route.
But that's the thing. Like, I wonder if they're wanting to set themselves apart from Tomb Raider and Uncharted and be like, no, we're actually gonna make a first-person game, and you're still killing Nazis.
So I think more of it on the different side of the spectrum, where they want to also follow in those footsteps and So since Microsoft now technically owns Bethesda, they want to have their own Uncharted or Tomb Raider or whatever thing like that. So
See, I feel like they could separate this because like I saw the tweet of people saying like, oh, Xbox has like their own Uncharted now with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Not copy Uncharted, but what if it does almost the reverse? Because I don't know the Indiana Jones movies very well. I'm sorry, but like Uncharted focused on like the big cinematic moments and had small moments of puzzles and kind of things like that. What if Indiana Jones kind of did the reverse? It only had a couple big moments that really stood out. But the game was primarily just about puzzles, like kind of puzzle solving in like the Indiana Jones world that I can't explain.
I don't think that would hit.
Yeah.
You don't think that would work?
No, because Indiana Jones, I think Indiana Jones is pretty much, or Uncharted is pretty much Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it was inspired directly by it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So people are going to be expecting this game to be like that. And
yeah, but that raises the question, can machine games make a third-person action game in the style of Uncharted?
But like, how would it even be first person though? That'd be too weird.
Yeah, that too, because Indiana Jones doesn't shoot that much.
Yeah,
he has a gun. He does shoot occasionally, but not that much.
So machine games, obviously they make Wolfenstein, which are great FPS games. But when you think about them moving over to becoming a third-person action adventure, or making a game like that, we can think about, what was the other Guerrilla that did the same thing. So I feel like I would be confident in them being able to go a different creative route and make a different kind of game than what they're used to.
I think in the gaming sphere, I think a lot of us consumers and fans and enthusiasts press like to kind of box developers in to be like, oh, you did this one thing, great, I want more of that. And then they they make more of that, and then you're like, oh, that's the only thing you can make now. Like like can't learn something new, or it's like, we want you to make the one thing that we like. But I think this might be a good opportunity for them to make something new.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, for sure it isn't their bread and butter, but it is, of course, totally possible that they can nail a third-person action game. Like you said, like Gorilla went from first person to third person. I don't know. Also, if we focus on the good aspects that machine games can bring to the franchise, I mean, first of all, machine games have been great at world building with the Wolfenstein games. And also it is kind of like too perfect that the developer known for making games about killing Nazis is making an Indiana Jones game, a character known for going up against Nazis.
Yeah.
Cool.
And they love fighting Nazis there at machine games. Good for them.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move.
Well, before we move on, do we think that it will be Xbox exclusive?
Oh, that is a good point. I think it should be.
But I'm sure it will. But when do you think it'll ever come to PlayStation?
Oh,
I could see this being more of a timed exclusive.
Yeah,
I think, because I think Indiana Jones is something that you really, really want to get everyone involved in. But that's the thing. Like I heard some people making comparisons to Marvel's Spider-Man.
Exactly.
But that's also in a weird thing because Sony owns the movie rights. It's there's some. It's not exactly crossover.
Yeah, there's already the connection between the two.
Plus, wasn't there still like a thing that like Phil Spencer said that like they weren't really gonna focus on exclusives? Like it still would be, but I think because of like I still think this will come to PlayStation.
I mean, the
nothing
thing
is set in stone yet.
Yeah,
Phil Spencer said that before. Of course, they were about to buy Bethesda.
That's true.
I don't know if we should 100% believe him.
I'm just throwing whatever we know out there, man.
Yeah.
We also know that nothing is set in stone yet. Like they are planning on buying Bethesda and their parent company is ZeniMax, but they're still waiting on like the approval for all of the stuff, which is why they can't say, because apparently it's against the law to be like, this is what we're gonna do with them, blah 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 blah.
Well,
or something.
I mean, if
like
they don't own them, so they cannot call the shots.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
and also at the
keeping their mouth shut.
At the end of the day, I think the decision as to where it will go falls on the IP holders, which would be, in this case, Lucasfilm Games. I think they would be the final word. And if I had to make a prediction, I think that there is a good chance that it could be exclusive, but I think that there's also a higher chance of it not being an exclusive. It could be a time exclusive, but not a full-on exclusive. I don't think it will be. And to those people that bring up the whole Spider-Man thing, we have to take into account, like we said, Sony already has a relationship with Marvel and with the Spider-Man IP. But also, I think it is easier for Sony to pitch them on making a game exclusive to them because they have such a big reach and such a big install base. Whereas on the Xbox side, the Xbox consoles haven't been selling quite as much as PlayStation, and even to the Switch. I think the Switch has outsold the Xbox, so that isn't a good look. And then for xCloud, I don't know if we're still there for a big reach.
Yeah.
So I think that there is a bigger chance that it will either at the beginning of it or eventually will come out on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's why when you originally asked, I said not that I expect it to or want it to. I think it should be an exclusive because Xbox needs these sort of system sellers in a way. And just how
they're also
PlayStation
working on a new movie too, so this would help. Just be like, hey, you just saw that new film, go check out the game on our system.
Yeah, exactly. Just how PlayStation has Spider-Man. People are like, oh, I want to buy a PlayStation and play that Spider-Man game. People say, I want to buy the Xbox to play that Indiana Jones game because of the movie. You know, so they need this kind of stuff. Even though Xbox and Microsoft are so good at keeping the goodwill of their audience.
See, and that's why I think that this will be a time exclusive, because Xbox is so hard on like being consumer friendly. It doesn't make sense to be like, we're all about the gamer. We want them to enjoy it in any way that they want and everything else. Then be like, ooh, you really want Indiana Jones? No, now you have to be with us. Because even if Indiana Jones, let's say it's exclusive for however, like let's say a year. That first year, if you really want to play it, you get into Xbox. Then once you're in Xbox, it's all of their consumer-friendly Game Pass, all that stuff. That's what keeps you there, as we said before. Or maybe it ends up coming to PlayStation, but you're like, well, I've been kind of on the fence about Xbox because I hear they have all these great things. And if you have extra money or anything else, you might just get an Xbox playing Indiana Jones there because you get all these extra things. So it might not be as profitable if they make it just full-on exclusive. But being exclusive, I feel like goes against what their motto is.
But to that point, I think that Microsoft has been in that position of being so consumer friendly and such the quote unquote good guy here because they have needed, the situation has made them be like that. But I think that by the time that we get to the not Ghostwire Tokyo, not Deathloop, the game after that, I think we will really see if they actually commit to that whole, hey, we don't care, we don't want to have people have to choose where they play their games. I think that then it will be really tested.
Yeah.
And also to the whole thing that Phil Spencer said once about like I said, Phil Spencer said that he doesn't believe that much in exclusives. He wants most people to play the most games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He has already kind of like twisted those words in a way when the question came up with Bethesda, where he said like, oh, but people can play it on Xbox or they can play it on their PCs or on xCloud. So really, people have the opportunities to play the games that are exclusive. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
He has already started to
Yeah.
twist those words.
Yep.
Do you
Alright.
think this game also comes like instead of being fully exclusive, Gino? Do you think it just like, hey, it's for the new Xbox, but also PC?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Oh,
For sure.
yeah, it's absolutely going
Yeah.
to be on Boom Boom.
Yeah,
See,
I
but
don't
even
think so.
then, like with it being on PC as well,
Question there.
then that's also not encouraging you to buy an Xbox. So there you go.
But that has been their whole thing for
They've
a while
always,
now.
yeah, they've
Yeah.
always been Xbox and PC.
On PC, yeah.
Which never
Let's
helps
move
them actually
on
like sell
to the-
Xboxes, but yeah.
The hard thing here, because we have some more Lucasfilm
So
stuff.
we got a big Lucasfilm week. So number 3, Lucasfilm announces open world Star Wars game from Ubisoft. And this comes over from Eurogamer written by Tom Phillips. Massive Entertainment, the Ubisoft-owned developer of Tom Clancy's The Division, has begun work on a new open-world Star Wars game. The project utilizes The Division's Snowdrop engine and is led by the Division 2 director Julian Garrity, I think is how you pronounce it. And today's announcement marks a definite end to Disney and EA's much-trumpeted 10-year deal of exclusivity for AAA Star Wars projects. When asked about that 10-year period of agreement, Lucasfilm Games declined to go into specifics. Quote, EA has been and will continue to be a very strategic and important partner for us now and going forward. End quote. Disney Games exec Sean Shoptaw said, quote, but we did feel like there's room for others, end quote. And a subsequent blog post on Lucasfilm.com states that multiple EA projects remain in the works. What do you guys think about this?
I'm excited.
I mean, it's a Ubisoft game, so hopefully it's not going to be overstuffed with just fluff like their Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah,
It-
my
yeah, it
only worry
excites me.
here...
As
My
much as
only
it
worry
worries
here
me.
is that...
Sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to say my only worry here is that I wasn't that big of a fan of The Division. I
Yeah,
felt that it
same.
was a bit too repetitive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the Division 2. I thought it was great.
Yeah, the Division are great games, and this studio specifically making an open world Star Wars game is probably the best one to make it because
You
of the
think?
Division games. I would feel.
To me, I think this is a safe bet. This is like,
Yeah.
hey, we want to diversify who's making the games and what kind of games will they get. Hey, Ubisoft, we know you guys make open world games, right? Like, I feel like that's the safe bet of just like, there's a certain level of quality and standard that Ubisoft has with their like very formulaic open world games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
but they've fallen down that sort of rabbit hole of kind of
Doing the
putting
same
a lot
thing.
putting a lot of importance into quantity over quality.
Yep.
So I feel like that's something they should step back and really focus on the quality of the game over making it just so huge and so
Yeah.
many things to do. So.
No, I feel like I almost feel like the giant expansive world would work though, because even if it does have a lot of stuff in it or anything else, and there is a lot of quantity, I feel like being able to just be lost for hours in like the millions and millions of Ubisoft fluff of open world games would excite a Star Wars fan, because you all you want to do is just be in that world for as long as possible. Like obviously have good quality, but I feel
Yeah.
like they want that you would want a lot of quantity as well, but you don't want just like random bad little nodes of quantity. You want like a lot of it, but you want it to be important. But then you also have to work with like the actual lore and world of Star Wars, so then you kind of run this really fine line of like, what can you really do?
Man,
To
imagine
speak
that's
to
so
what
fun.
you just said, Gino.
Yeah.
I think having Disney farm this out to Ubisoft will help with exactly what you were talking about. Because at the end of the day, Disney is the one that needs to be like, okay, yes, this has been stamped for approval and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's not Ubisoft just being like, cool, let's ship it out, let's go.
Yeah, they're
It's
just as much a part of the
Disney.
creative process as Ubisoft
Yeah.
would be.
Also, I think one of the advantages of it being Ubisoft is that we know Ubisoft goes so deep into their research, being good with the Assassin's Creed games and their historical research, which is insane.
That's true.
Or even to the Division and what they have done with those, their settings. I think that that them being granted the access to Star Wars, I think we will get a lot of great things from that universe into this game being put here from the amount of research and how deep that they get.
Yeah, I wonder if they could also take inspiration from the Mass Effect games as an idea for that, which would be pretty awesome. That'd be cool. Awesome things from Lucasfilm.
And also, this is of course a big fuck you to EA and their whole deal. I mean, EA still has that 10-year deal. I don't think that they have it. I think that it will still play out until, I think, 2022, 2023.
I think
I don't remember when it was made. But this is, of course, Disney being so mad at EA that they're like, fuck you, we won't wait to announce all of this stuff. The minute one that our deal has ended, we will publish all of these games. These games will be ready to go.
And it also looks like at the end of it, EA really tried to, or did actually, got their shit together with Fallen Order and then Squadrons that just came out. Because those games are all very well received.
Well, even that Fallen Order was still really good, but it definitely, like, for the genre that it was replicating, it still had a bit of, it had a lot of rough edges, but it was still really good.
And
like, I would have wanted more, like, another one of those games, but just be worked on more. Like, that would, oh my god.
Oh, we are going to see a second one for sure.
Yeah.
I know.
So.
But that would have excited me a bunch.
But
I mean, open world Star Wars is pretty good.
That seems exciting.
And it is so crazy to think, if you go back and see all of the Star Wars games that came out in the 90s or the 2000s compared to the 10-year or I think 7 or 8 year reign of EA.
Mm-hmm.
It's so like black and white. So many games used to come out and EA has put out so many little games, so few games.
Yeah, that's true. So let's move on from Lucasfilm games. That was all great news. And let's go to some sort of bad news, I guess, right? Am I right, guys? Number 4.
Well,
CD Projekt Red, another company that we have heard so much about, offers an explanation. This is over on GameSpot by Eddie McCooch. Following the rocky launch of Cyberpunk 2077 in December, developer CD Projekt Red has released a statement from studio co-founder Marcin Iwinski, in which he offers a personal explanation of what happened in the days leading up to the game's release. So, quote, despite good reviews on PC, the console version of Cyberpunk 2077 did not meet the quality standard we wanted it to meet. I and the entire leadership team are deeply sorry for this, and this video is me publicly owning up to that, Iwinski said. CD Projekt Red still plans to release free DLC packs for Cyberpunk 2077 later this year, while the free next-gen update for PS5 and Series X is planned for the second half of 2021. A FAQ page posted to CD Projekt Red's website has some further insight on what the studio is doing to make things right. According to a new report from Bloomberg, several of the game's developers believed 2022 was a more realistic release window.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's still a year away.
That's still 2 years from when it originally released. So
I still don't believe that if they had gotten more time, I don't think that they would have managed to make the game run well on last-gen hardware.
Well, it wouldn't have ran well, but it would have ran better than what we got.
Yeah, for sure. It would have been run better, but not, I don't think, good.
I think they said that because the further they were from last-gen consoles, it would have been okay to not release it on those.
Yeah.
That's probably their way of thinking about it.
Because you assume like early 2022 or even like late 2021, they would have been like, hey, it's going to come out next year and we're going to be focusing all of our efforts on the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions. Because sadly, the PS4 and Xbox One versions, they are no longer going to be released. Like, you assume that would have happened.
And this next-gen update being in the second half of 2021 is also really telling of
Yeah, well, you know that they have to focus all their efforts now on trying to fix
it.
the
Yeah.
most that they can, the lasting versions. Because I don't know if they were to come out and say, "Hey, we will release the next gen patch, maybe next week, next month, whatever," I think people would maybe be pissed that they were working on this instead of fixing the version that a lot more people were playing.
Keep in mind, it's still not on the PlayStation store.
Yeah, it's still not back yet.
They are working with Sony to get it up and running, but it's still not in a good spot for it to come back.
Let me add on to this so we can discuss about this. A little bit more news on it. Jason Schreier interviewed more than 20 current and former CD Projekt staff, which paints a complex picture. Unchecked ambition, technical woes, unrealistic deadlines, and above all, one belief: we made The Witcher 3, it'll work out, is the way they thought about it. So devs at CD Projekt Red said, despite promises that crunch would not be mandatory, they felt pressured to work overtime on and off for years. Adam Badowski, head of CD Projekt Red, has since responded to that article to clarify a few things. However, Schreier points out that CD Projekt Red declined to comment on specific questions for the article. They did not make Badowski available for an interview, and he still did not address the crunch issues or unrealistic timeline.
Yeah, so I put this stuff on here because Jason released this stuff last night, like late at like 1 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, and so like it's been going throughout the night and stuff like that. I haven't got a chance to read through it because it's all behind the paywall on Bloomberg. But yeah, it seems like he's speaking to a bunch of different people, and one of the things that Badowski points out is like, hey, you spoke to like a lot of ex developers that used to work for us, and only one person who went on record. So it's hard to say that this is a majority of our 500 employee company to do all, to say that this is what it was like. He also clarifies stuff on the demo because it sounded like in Schreier's piece that I guess the terminology of like the fake demo that they released in 2018 for like the behind closed doors stuff. They're like, well, it's not fake. Like that was what it was at the time, which means that's real. That's just how game development works, right? Like if you go watch a demo or something, it's highly curated because you hit the wrong button or if you look the wrong way, everything breaks, right?
Yeah, because of course the game is still in development.
Yeah, so I mean, he's making good points, but it's also like it's still like he says, he still isn't addressing the crunch and the unrealistic timeline. It seems like they didn't actually start making this game till 2016. And yeah, it just seems like the whole thing is still just a mess.
So the one thing I want to point out that stood out to me was the quote or the idea that we made The Witcher 3 so it'll work out. That specifically sort of, I guess I think it's so sad because they earned so much goodwill from The Witcher 3. They were, CD Projekt Red was high on everyone's list of being, this flagship game development company. And for them to completely and entirely lose all goodwill, but not just goodwill, trust from everybody is so sad to see happen. And I don't know. I personally hope they come out of it in some form. But, because you can compare this to a company like, I think, who was it that also lied? Hello Games. They lied a lot about No Man's Sky, but that was Hello Games, not CD Projekt Red. So the
I
CD
think
Projekt
a lot
Red.
of people have been comparing this to the whole BioWare magic stuff of like, oh, Andromeda will be fine, Anthem will be fine. It's BioWare magic, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
didn't happen.
I mean, even with the video, they kind of like came out and said what we have theorized before, which was the game became too big that they weren't. It became too big that at some point they weren't able to go back and tone it down, and also port it to the other consoles, because, like they said here, they were working on PC and they were planning on that what they were making on PC, then porting it to consoles in a certain way. I don't remember the term that he used, but yeah, it was that it got too big that at some point the last gen consoles couldn't. There was no way that they were able to put them on last gen consoles.
Yeah, but also, isn't that how games are normally made? They build them on PCs and then.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, I think they usually make them on PCs, but they make them on PCs, but using the architecture of the consoles and the specs of the consoles.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the case here, where I think that the main like unit that the main SKU that they worked on was a PC version, and that they were going to from there work on a way to bring them to the consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of can see that in a way, because there really are two Cyberpunk games here. There's a Cyberpunk game that came to PC that is great, that got great reviews, and then there's a Cyberpunk game that came out on consoles, which was a buggy mess,
but which still had bugs on PC either way.
Yeah, but you can kind of expect from a big game to have bugs eventually, either way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So the way I'll end this is saying we thought Cyberpunk was going to be a game that would be talked about for years after it came out for good things. But look at what we're talking about it.
Well, I still think it has the potential to do that. If they end up fixing this, which they kind of have to.
Yeah.
It's still like, I think what they have in there is still really good.
Yeah.
Like I ended up not putting this on my top 10 list, and I'm thinking about being like, hey, we should make this available for 2021 in our Game of the Year discussions, because I don't think I'm gonna end up playing the game until they release the next gen console patch.
Yeah.
I stopped playing it.
But
not because I encountered any big bugs, because I knew that was a possibility, so I would rather wait for the next gen patch.
Yeah.
But
Same.
what they have in there is good. Like I think there is a Game of the Year quality game deep in there somewhere, and they just have to sculpt it out.
They got the bones.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so this next one, I think you put in the NPD, right, Ignacio? So I don't know if you want to do this, if you want to point out certain things.
Yeah. So. I mean, there isn't much text to read here. I'll just read what I put here.
Yeah. December
saw new records for consumer spending on video games in the United States of $7.7 billion, according to industry tracking firm the NPD Group. The new PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S hardware drove that, but ongoing success of the Nintendo Switch platform was also instrumental. Quote, December 2020 consumer spending across video game hardware, content, and accessories reached a December record $7.7 billion, 25% higher when compared to a year ago.
Wild.
NPD analyst Matt Piscatella said, full year spending also set a new record, totaling $56.9 billion, 27% higher than 2019.
But that makes sense, though, from the whole pandemic. Like, There's
Yeah.
people I know that never play video games that bought Animal Crossing and bought Switches for that. So like it makes sense that spending was way higher.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, people had more time on their hands.
Nothing else to do.
Yeah.
That's crazy. A booming business.
So moving on to the chart for December, we have at number 1, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. At number 2, Cyberpunk 2077. Interesting.
Yeah,
Second best-selling game.
I feel like a lot of it was also pre-orders, no?
Mm.
I feel like we don't need to go over all 20 though. Like I feel like the top 5 would be
We
fine because those are like
usually do the top 10.
Yeah.
I typically start with number 10, but it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Number 3 is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is a carryover from November where it was on number 2, so it's still selling a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Miles Morales from also November, which was at a third place, so still also selling. At number 5, Madden NFL 21, another carryover from November, which was on number 4. Animal Crossing New Horizons as number 6, higher than in November. It used to be on number 8.
Still
At number
almost a
7.
year.
What was
Still
that?
almost a year after it's come out already.
Yeah.
But you assume from
Yeah,
like
it's insane.
Christmas spending in December, people getting for Christmas probably upped its sales a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that in this
Yeah.
in this lineup here, because number 7 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, up from number 11 last month.
Now isn't that counting like because I know like a lot like the most like one of the most popular Switch bundles is like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe one. Like is that what's affecting it then you assume?
I don't
It
know if the
could.
bundles are counted in this.
Yeah.
I think they might. I'm not sure, but I think they might.
Because that's like
Maybe.
the main bundle I always see of the Switch is like, oh yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe
Yeah.
Switch bundle.
But you also have to consider that Nintendo doesn't release their numbers, the digital numbers for first party games.
True.
So this is all physical for Mario Kart
Yeah.
8
Yeah.
and also Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
At number 8, we have NBA 2K21, which was on number 5 last month. Number 9, a new one for the month, Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yeah,
Gino, I know you like that game a lot.
Nice.
You gotta play it.
And then finally at number 10, we have Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which again, let me remind you that come March, you will not longer be able to buy the game. So
Yep.
maybe if you haven't yet, you should do it now.
I wonder how many. I wonder where it's gonna be on the list in February.
Oh, yeah. That would
We'll see.
be interesting, yeah.
Everyone buying it last minute.
Mm-hmm. Moving on. Since we are in a new year, I think that it would be good to look back at the top-selling games of last year overall. So, number 1 for 2020, we have Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
That doesn't
No.
surprise me.
Call of Duty
Yeah.
will never go away, dude.
Yeah, that does not shock me at all.
And it's
Yeah.
only been out for what, 3 months, I think.
Well, since in November came out.
Yeah,
I
it's only
think.
out for 2. And not
Also-
even
So
2
it
full
is number
months.
1 for the year with
Yeah, for
having
2 in
having
20
come out on November.
in 2020. Yeah. Wow.
Not even 2
Wild.
full months.
Yeah. And number 2, an interesting one, Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
This also is not shocking. I feel
Sounds
like
familiar.
everybody I know in my that I know personally, everyone plays this game.
It's
Yeah.
because of Warzone.
Yeah, like everyone plays it.
Yeah, even though Warzone is free.
Exactly. So I assume people downloading Warzone made them be like, oh, you know what? Let me buy the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, for Modern Warfare, I think it came out in 2019.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. Warzone is the
Yeah.
one that came out in 2020.
Ah.
I think this is usually what we see with Call of Duty games, where both the new one and the one from the year before that one chart at like number 1 and 2.
That's funny.
Yeah. Number 3, we have Animal Crossing New Horizons. Not that surprising, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
Which
That
And to be
game
honest,
was
it's
that game was a
probably actually the
phenomenon.
number 1 game because we also don't know
Yeah.
the digital.
Yeah.
That's true.
Deal.
Yeah,
on
same
that.
applies here where we don't know the digital for first-party Nintendo games. Number
Yeah.
4, we have Madden NFL 21. I think that's a regular one every year
I think
on this
so.
chart. So not a big surprise. Number 5, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Good
Nice.
for them.
Nice
Yep.
job, Ubisoft.
I think this one came out in November also.
No, it came out. The 10th
Yeah,
because I
November.
believe it came out 2 days before the PS5 launched on Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So another one with 2 months.
Yep.
Number 6, The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, this is-
Controversy sells, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
And also Sony first party games sell,
yeah.
as you will see
Mhm.
next up. Because number 7, Ghost of Tsushima.
Nice. I like that
A
one a
new
lot.
IP and a Sony console exclusive.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's also from a very well-established developer of Sucker Punch, though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a new IP, but it's from a very established developer.
Yeah, but I
though.
feel that the Infamous games weren't that big of a deal.
I feel like
For people.
Infamous was a big deal. Second Son, I feel like was kind of like the taper point of like, Infamous.
Mm.
But like Sly Cooper is huge. Like that, even to me and a lot of people, that's like the defining thing of Sucker Punch. So like
Yeah, but I think it is huge for a certain group of people. I don't think a big group, but for sure it is big for a group of people.
Nostalgia sells, man.
Yeah.
Having
Mhm.
nostalgia for games like that makes you just trust developers
Yeah.
like that.
But still good for Sucker Punch
Yeah.
Yep.
that their new IP came out at number 7 for the year. Moving on, number 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
How convenient.
Again.
Number 8.
Again, consider that we don't know the details says for this game, and also that it came out in 2017.
Mhm.
Number 9, Super Mario 3D All Stars. Again, no details says here.
Yep.
Good for it. And finally, number 10, my game of the year, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Barely
should have been higher.
barely squeezing in there.
Great game.
Yeah.
Great game.
hmm
Good for them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Also, good for Sony and Nintendo. On this year top 10, Sony had 2 of their exclusive in it, and Nintendo had 3.
Yeah.
Good
for
stuff,
them.
man.
Yep.
2020 was a good year for video games.
It sure
Also,
was.
I just gotta give a shout out to my favorite game of all time, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, number 17.
Good for them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that wraps us up for the big news, but let's get on to our new and notable section. I'm going to toss this one to Alan. Is that right?
Whoa. Yeah, we can do the Sony announced games. So, yeah,
Do it.
Sony announces PS5 games release windows on small print for the, what is that? The CES? I forget.
CES.
The CES showcase, and later removes it, so kind of highly sus, but it lists Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is coming in 2021, which I think was already kind of stated. We already kind of knew
Yeah.
that.
Well, keep keep going with these, and we'll circle
Yeah.
back around to Ratchet and Clank.
Then we've got Horizon Forbidden West also coming in 2021. Returnal coming March 19th, 21. Pragmata apparently in 2023. Solar Ash, June of 2021. Kenna coming in March of this year. Stray is coming out in my favorite month, October of this year. Ghostwire Tokyo, also October of 2021. The Little Devil Inside, July of this year. And Project Athia coming January 2022.
Yeah, so I think most of these are what we expected. The
Mhm.
one that I
Yeah.
heard people talking about was Ratchet and Clank because
Yeah.
this is supposed to be a release window game.
Yeah, right.
They
Huh.
didn't
I
say
forgot about
exactly
it.
when it was
I forgot about
coming out. We knew it would be very soon after, but now they're
Yeah.
still just only saying 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
That
didn't we
is a bit
already
alarming.
know? We already knew Returnal's release date before this.
I don't
Right?
know.
I
don't
I
know.
could have sworn they announced it somewhere. I saw it somewhere.
I think they did. I'm not
Yeah.
Maybe we knew the month, but we didn't know the exact date.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But yeah, for Ratchet and Clank, I for sure would have bet before that it would have come out I think in March at the most, because like you said, it is supposed to be a launch window game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Sony's saying that it will come out at some point of 2021. It is a bit worrying.
Well, okay, so two other things, like, because, so the part that kind of shocks me about this is Project Athia, we know very little about, and Pragmata, we also know little to nothing, but I like how they're separated by an entire year, and Athia's coming out supposedly January of next year,
That would be
but
great.
Pragmata is just 2023.
Mhm.
Which was Pragmata.
That
It's
was
that weird like astronaut guy with the girl and they like float in the sky or
yeah,
real
I mean,
weird.
the guy that made Dead
I feel
Space.
we know less about it.
And also I just checked, even though Sony removed this on the PSN store, Returnal's already like does have that release date set as March 19th of this year. It has
Okay.
it on there already. So even though they removed
Yeah,
this,
I
that
think-
was already confirmed.
Yeah, I think they removed it more for Ratchet and Clank and the other games. Like, I don't know if we knew Ghostwire was coming on October 2021.
Mhm.
I think it
But
only had a
cool.
release window of I think it only said
Yeah.
2021.
And also, I'm almost positive that we didn't know about Project Athia coming on January 2022.
No,
that
Which
was
is a
on-
surprise to
that,
me.
Yeah, that felt like a game that was way out.
That's
I mean,
why I'm
hopefully
shocked
they
that
can
that's
hit it.
coming sooner than Pragmata, because we know we know almost nothing about both of those games.
So-
Yeah, but with Project Athia, we saw like what
little.
10 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah, a little bit of it. Two things that stand out to me here. Kenna coming March 2021. When are they going to announce the actual release date? Because Returnal's coming in March as well. So and
That's
they
true.
already have a release date for that one. Kenna looks awesome, by the way.
Mhm.
And one notable one that is missing here is God of War, that apparently is coming out in 2021.
Very true.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Well,
Do we know that it is coming out on 2021?
yeah,
I don't remember.
they said it was when they first
Did-
announced it. They said 2021.
I thought we only saw like the tease of Kratos' voice and just the symbol of Ragnarok. I don't think
Not
we got
even
like a
his-
release year, did we?
Did we hear him? I don't remember.
Yeah, we hear him. We see the symbol,
The symbol.
and then we see 2021.
No,
Do you guys
we
not
see
remember this?
we see Ragnarok. It just says Ragnarok.
Yeah, we
Alright.
see Ragnarok.
Okay,
but,
look up the trailer again, and then you'll see
Okay,
2021. But we've spoken about this too. This game is not coming out in 2021 either way, and I don't know if they think it is. I don't know if they've figured out that it's not, and I assume that's why it's missing from
Well,
here.
The thing to keep in mind with all of these release dates, especially for this year and the next, COVID-19 has delayed a lot of stuff, but like we really aren't going to see the effects of that until this year of things getting delayed and stuff. So
Yeah.
Which we
I don't
already
know
are
how
starting to
many
see. Yeah.
of these dates are going to stand up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, Gino, you're right. It did say 2021.
Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
We spoke about this, guys. we've
Dude,
talked
it
about
happened,
it.
what,
It was so
3
long
months
ago.
ago?
You think I can remember that?
5 months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, still, at least something came out of CES for Sony. I wasn't
Also,
expecting anything.
I have
Mhm.
no idea what Little Devil Inside is. I feel like I've seen that, but I can't even remember what that even was.
That was
Yeah, me either.
I-
Also, Solar Ash, Stray.
I remember
Well, Stray, I
Little
know.
Devil Inside. That it looked really interesting. It had this really
yeah.
weird art style,
like a
about
paper
this,
mache
like-
sort of art style.
Yeah, it was about this like guy that was maybe being possessed or was dreaming that he was some adventurer or something. I don't remember, but it
Oh,
looked
no, it's the-
interesting.
Yeah, not really, but it almost looks somewhat paper mache. It kind of weird to
Right.
describe. Yeah, I'm looking at
Yeah.
it now. Yeah.
And Solar Ash Ignacio is from the people that made Hyperlight Drifter. That's their new game.
Also,
Honest-
Stray is a cat game.
The cat
I
game.
know
yeah.
that's why I remember that one.
Incredible you
Yeah.
remember that one and you don't remember that they announced that release year for God of War.
Well, clearly I have got my clearly my priorities are in check.
Yeah.
Honestly, looking at this showcase of Little Devil Inside, I don't even know how I would describe that to somebody.
It's a very
Like,
different game. It's very
yeah.
weird. So it's
If
cool.
someone
It
was
is
like-
interesting.
If someone was like, "Hey, can you tell me about that game, Little Devil Inside?" I'd be like, "Dude, I'm just gonna send you the trailer because I don't even know where to start on that one."
Exactly.
Oh,
it looked
it's
good, though.
this game.
Man.
Mhm.
So no other thoughts on the PlayStation release window games?
Hopefully they all come out the
Eh.
time that they're saying.
Yeah.
Man. Well, outside of Sony PlayStation, we actually got the new Pokemon Snap gets a release date of April 30th. And I agree with Twitter. I don't like that it just has the word new in
Snap.
its title.
Yep.
I don't like that.
Also, I saw
Snap.
someone reporting on it as new Nintendo Pokemon Snap, something like
Ugh.
that.
New Nintendo
It
Pokemon
literally,
Snap.
they literally should have just called it Pokemon Snap 2 or like Pokemon Snap and then like a title, but not new
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon
Yeah.
Snap 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Also, I like the disrespect to Sobble. Fuck him.
Oh, I
I don't know if you've
didn't
seen
actually
the-
watch I didn't watch anything on it yet because I
Hashtag Team
didn't see-
Score Bunny Fire
Didn't see
Starters
it.
for life,
Yep.
motherfucker. Let's go.
Hashtag fuck
Because-
Sabo.
Yeah, fuck Sobble. Because if you look at the cover art, it has Score Bunny, it has Grookey, and I think maybe Pikachu in it, but no Sobble.
get fucked, Sobble.
That,
You don't want the sad boy in the title because it's new, it's exciting. Sobble just looks sad. You can't have him on the
Yeah.
cover art looking all depressing.
so racist to water types.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well,
fire
remember
type
this
all the
isn't
day,
Gen 3. You know, nothing's ever gonna reach that height of Mudkip. You know, water types have just been on a steady decline.
God.
Yep.
But yeah, is anyone like excited to pick? Like, are you guys gonna get that game when it comes out or man?
Definitely.
Hell
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I am getting this game.
I
For
might.
sure. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nostalgic.
I cannot
I-
wait. Yeah, it is pure
I never owned a
nostalgia.
64. I never played the first Snap.
Yeah, me
so
neither.
yeah,
Me neither, but I have a lot of nostalgia to Pokemon.
yeah, same.
hmm
I love Pokemon, so maybe,
Pokemon.
but also I'm not that big into the gameplay of it.
Yeah, I prefer the battling system, not taking a photo.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. It's been so long, and now we finally get another one. So sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Also the cover art is Scorbunny, Grookey, and a Pichu. All of them very excited and having fun.
See, that's why
Without
Sobble
Sobble.
can't be in it.
Yeah.
But besides Sobble getting screwed, Riders Republic was delayed to later this year. So
Yeah. This was supposed to come out in
Sure.
February, wasn't it?
I
I
don't know what
think
this
so.
is.
Yeah, they had an actual release date. I think it was February 21. And this game looks cool. I was excited for it, but they didn't announce a new date, so I wonder how much they got affected.
Well, clearly you have to delay your excitement as well.
Yeah. Also, you have to wonder now, whenever studios will come out saying that they delayed the game, you have to wonder if it is maybe in response to the whole Cyberpunk fiasco,
Could be.
Maybe.
to how bad that was.
Yeah.
Other than that, our last thing is Kyle now knows what console to get Hitman 3 on because it's coming to Switch alongside other versions. Yay, Hitman
Which
3.
means I'm getting it on PS5.
Nice.
No, you
I'm
gotta
very
play it on the Switch version now.
I'm
You can
excited
play it
for
on
it.
the go. And it's like you're playing Hitman Go.
Nope.
No?
I was gonna say Switch asterisk because it is one of the cloud games.
It's streaming. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, Hitman 3 coming to Switch, I guess. Eh?
On inauguration
Which
day.
is it's still sweet that it's coming to Switch and it's
Yeah.
available on streaming. Like that's wonderful. And I
Yeah.
think we're gonna see a lot more of that down the road as newer and bigger games come out and they can't really port those to the Switch.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for Hitman 3. It comes out this next week. I'm stoked.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was coming out that soon. Holy cow.
Yep.
On the
I'm
20th.
also gonna play it. So
True.
Funny tweet about Hitman 3 over here from do you guys know Emmett Watkins, EJ Sponge 61 on Twitter?
No.
Yes, sir.
He
isn't
said-
that Emmett Watkins Jr.?
Yeah, Emmett Watkins Jr.
Yeah.
He said, I hope nothing happens at the inauguration, if for no other reason than I don't want Hitman 3 releasing that day to be ironic.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
it's kind of like a sad laugh, like how.
Yeah, like it's also scary. Well,
Jesus.
Well, there you go. There's everything, I guess, to give you a little highlight of stuff coming of release dates.
new and notable.
Which means it's time for our upper runners. There we go. Am I supposed to toss this one to Ignacio now?
Yeah, who does upper
I
runs?
think I was supposed to do new and notable, but I can do
Okay,
upper
see,
runners.
I'm all backed
We
up.
could all since it's
switched
upper runners,
around.
we could all
Yeah.
take turns saying one.
Sure.
I call second.
I want
I go first.
I want the third one.
Okay.
Fine. Kyle, you
Go,
first.
Ignacio.
Okay. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order got a new next gen patch.
Nice. Did it
Nice.
detail what it improved or just in general?
Yes, I didn't put it here, but if
I think it's 4K 60 now.
yeah,
Ah.
the thing is that it is different for Series X. It is one thing for Series X. It is another for PS5, and also the Series S version also has a different thing. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
I
Very
think
exciting stuff.
PS5 is 1200, something like that, at 60.
Mm.
And I think the Series X version got 2 modes. One with higher resolution, lower frame rate, and the other way around, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Good for. It's nice to see older games getting next gen patches,
Yeah.
Yep.
so people can play them new
Especially
Star
again.
Wars
Jedi Fallen Order,
Jedi
which
was
I
our
love so
game
much.
of the year last year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
it could really use that improvement with the next gen patch too. Like every little bit just kind of helps it run a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I should go back to it because they have added a couple of other things.
I never
I should go
platinum that game.
All right.
Wait, you did it?
No. I
did.
didn't.
Tough.
I
did.
didn't enjoy it enough.
Oh
Wow.
my god, not this again.
Let's not go
I'm
into
sorry.
that.
Good
Resident
thing that you
Evil
weren't here
Village.
last year for Game of the Year. discussion.
Resident Evil Village is getting its very own showcase 2 days after your time of hearing this on January 21st
Yes.
at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Hosted by Brittany. What is her last name?
Brombacher.
Brombacher?
Brom-
Brombacher.
And we get to see the tall Resident Evil lady. Yes.
So everyone was simping
yeah, oh
over
dude.
this lady.
Dude. Oh my
I saw
god.
that.
It was
The
Twitter
internet,
was
of
getting simp fever from this lady, dude.
I hope this is is this the lady that's chasing you the way
Yeah,
Mr. X and the Nemesis were in?
I kind of hope so.
Because that would be cool.
Dude, I want it.
That's even more scary than any
No,
other
but
one.
like,
I don't
you-
want to
you-
run, but I do.
No,
but I
No,
don't.
you
I don't know.
like it though. Like the game gets all dramatic and it's like run away, and you're like, no, but I don't want
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
I want her to catch me and
I
choke
want
me
her to
death.
get me.
Oh, please stop.
I want her to catch me and choke me to death, but that's game
come
over.
on.
I want to
Just
see how
anyways.
tall. I want to see how tall she is from the warm embrace.
Exciting
Kyle,
anyway.
are you
I'm
gonna
looking
play
forward
it?
to it.
Me, dude?
No,
hell
I
yeah.
am not
No,
going to
Kyle.
play
Kyle.
Resident Evil Village because I am a coward and I
Do
don't like
it.
scary games.
Do
You
it,
can
you
watch me
coward.
play it, Kyle. You
Ah.
can watch me play it.
Also, one thing that I'd like to bring up is that I don't think they will only show Resident Evil Village.
Mm-hmm.
I because I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but there was this thing going around where you could sign up for an
Yeah.
unannounced beta thing for a Resident Evil thing.
The 20 was it like the 25th anniversary thing or whatever?
I
Like
don't
an,
know
it's like an
exactly for what
anniversary
it is.
thing or whatever that you like sign up for.
Do you think
When
they
you
have
sign
like
up,
a?
they tell you that it is something that it will be announced
Yeah,
that day.
So
Yeah, I
do you
saw-
think they have like a and one last thing surprise?
yeah.
Yeah.
Or even if it's just like a teaser of just anything. Yeah, because I saw Ignacio and I saw Devil Never Cry on Twitter both signed up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I gotta say, it was so hard to sign up for it.
Yeah, he was saying the same thing, that it was kind of like a pain in the butt to try to sign up.
Because you start with a page in English, but then halfway through you have to do it in Japanese.
which is so
Okay.
weird.
So I
That's
just
fine.
had to take screenshots and go to the translator app and translate it like that.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a pain in the
Yeah.
ass. But also, I don't think that either will be, those two will be the only things, because there was a leak recently for Capcom, and I think that people saw something related to new Resident Evil games,
Mm-hmm.
like remake
so.
of other
Right,
games.
I
So
remember that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
cool. Well, a special Mario edition of the Nintendo Switch is releasing alongside Super Mario 3D World and plus Bowser's Fury. So we're actually going to have like another kind of special Switch, kind of like the Animal Crossing one, which I'm excited.
Yeah.
I haven't seen an image of what it looks like, and I don't think we have, but I'm excited to see what it looks like.
I think we
It's
do.
red and blue. It looks like
Is it?
Mario. Yeah.
Ooh. I like red and blue a lot. They're my two favorite colors.
Ooh.
So how far
Oh.
out would a Switch Pro be if they're still releasing stuff like this?
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is like regular business for Nintendo. They always
Yeah.
release new special edition consoles.
I'm almost convinced
not
that like
stop
we're
them.
not actually gonna get a Switch Pro at some point. Like Nintendo's just gonna ride or die with what they got.
I would put. I would say it is more probable that they will than they won't, because that's the Nintendo style. They always release a new revision of their consoles.
I don't
Or at
I don't
least
see
their
like
handhelds.
I don't see like a Switch Pro. I just kind of I mean I guess it would technically be a Switch Pro, but because the Switch is such a successful system, I don't see them making a new design for the console. It's just gonna be another Switch with like a slight, not I would say improvement, but just a slight different design feature. Like it's
Mhm.
gonna be the Switch, but it's gonna look just barely a little different, and it'll be like it's not the Switch Pro. It's like the Switch version 2 or something. Like it'll be like
Switch
a new,
XL.
huh?
They could do the Switch XL.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Oh, God.
Damn it, Gino.
Speaking of Nintendo, they also
Hey.
revealed a new trailer for Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, in which we finally got to see a little tease of what the new expansion will be like.
Ignacio.
Looks-
Super
Ignacio.
Saiyan Mario.
Yeah,
Super
Super
Saiyan
Saiyan
Mario.
Mario, bro. Super
Yeah.
Saiyan Mario.
Saying Cat Mario.
Are you
It
into
looks
giant
insane.
furries? Well, Mario's got your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bowser's
It looks.
furry.
Dude, it looks
Right?
it looks awesome.
It looks awesome. It looks like in the same vein of Odyssey.
Yeah, I actually had somebody in
Does, yeah.
in Sam's Twitch chat saying that like they feel like the Bowser's Fury, like what this is gonna be, is gonna almost be like the Odyssey DLC we didn't officially get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It for sure feels like that.
So yeah, I'm getting that. I'm excited to play 3D
I'm
World
excited for
again.
the game. I've never played 3D World, and that's a game that I have been wanting to play for so long. I have
it's
been
so
waiting for it
good.
to come to Switch.
You'll love it. I hope.
I
Nice.
will probably.
All right.
But-
I'll do this one.
Yeah.
The opening date of Super Nintendo World has been delayed from February 4th to an unknown date, I'm assuming, due to COVID once
Mm.
again.
Dang.
The
I think
delays.
I think Japan, or at least Tokyo, or the bigger area of Tokyo, reimposed a lot of restrictions.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know at
so
least
it's because of that.
I know here in Michigan ours got extended to February 1st, I think. I
Yeah.
think.
Well, COVID has not gone away.
Well, thanks,
Nope.
Super Nintendo World.
Still, even if it only affects people in Japan, to be honest, because anyone from anywhere else wouldn't have been able to go there.
Yeah. True.
I can do this last one, even though I have this. This means like nothing to me. What is it? Rayan's Ali's book NBA Jam has been a option for a documentary focusing on the hit basketball game. Those were a lot of
Yeah.
words I don't know.
Yeah, so
Sports.
I saw this on Twitter. I remember playing NBA Jam back in the day, putting on big head mode, stuff like that, right? Like it's just it's a good, fun arcade basketball game. And this guy Rayan Ali apparently has a book documenting the history of that game and how it got made. And I think, they've announced this past week that it's been optioned for a documentary. So if you guys aren't a fan of reading the book, maybe one day you can watch this documentary.
They should really bring those games back.
Who has time to read a book nowadays anyway?
Yeah.
The arcade basketball games and like
So much
NFL
fun.
Street and stuff
NBA
like that.
Street,
Those were
yes.
awesome.
They brought a game to the Switch. I don't remember if it was Jam or not.
I don't think it was. There was a recent one, like an arcade basketball game, I think called like NBA Playgrounds or something.
Yeah. Playgrounds and then Playgrounds 2.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and I've heard okay things, but not
I
enough
like
to
them.
be like, this is one that you need to play.
Yeah.
So
The last Jam game that came out, I think, was in the PS3 360 era. I do remember it.
good times.
That's all we got.
There you go. Yeah, that wraps us up for all the news for this week. Good, exciting stuff. Let me ask you guys this: what are you excited for in 2021? What's your most anticipated game? What are you looking forward to this next week? Let's start with Gino.
God, I was thinking, dude. I was thinking.
I can go.
one.
I already got mine.
Okay, you guys go.
Yeah,
I'm still thinking.
Mine is honestly pretty obvious. I am super hyped for Hollow Knight's Silk Song to finally come out.
We'll see about
There
that.
you go.
Okay. Wow, and like that, the balloon was popped.
Yeah.
Ignacio.
I mean,
what about you?
for me, of course, it
Dragon
would
Ball
have
Z
to be
Kakarot.
the unannounced Dragon Ball Z
Yeah, I
game.
knew it. I fucking knew it.
There's
Ignacio,
one-
Every year we get one, so
Ignacio,
I'm,
did you see
waiting
the
for it.
screenshot of Baby Vegeta's Golden Ape form?
Oh, in Fighters.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, Fighters.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna
also
tell you that, but I
that's-
forgot to.
Now that I think of it, I'm still waiting for the next DLC for Kakarot.
That's funny.
You're gonna
So,
get your
yeah, I'm
next
looking
game before
forward
you
to
get the DLC.
But
Okay.
yeah, also I'm looking forward to the eventual next Dragon Ball Z game for this year because every year they put out one.
Is it gonna be your next? Are you gonna fight for it to be Game of the Year?
Nah,
Nah.
I wasn't that high on Heroes when it came out.
Oh.
I'm actually really excited for Hitman coming out next week.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But I also want to put my energy into being excited for Kenna because Kenna, I think, looks freaking awesome, dude. And I would,
Yeah.
like that small trailer that we saw of gameplay and all that stuff looked so charming and cute and fun to play. And I'm excited that, and hopefully it comes out in March. So,
Or you could spend that energy and get excited on Yakuza.
So that was an option.
That's an option.
Kenna would be great.
Yo. Kenna's a good one. I'm excited to hear more about that because it looks beautiful.
Yep.
But I guess personally I haven't looked into much of it or what it's supposed to be. But I am really looking forward to Deathloop. I think that is my most anticipated
Yes.
game of
I'm
Yes.
really
2021.
curious how that game is gonna shake out too.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. It looks so good.
Yeah. We still have to wait a bit for it.
I have a confession
But
to
yeah.
make. I
What?
don't like first-person shooters.
Same.
I have a confession to make. Gino is fired.
Wow.
Well,
Kyle,
That's-
you're already fired. Clean out your desk. You can't fire Gino. You're already fired. You don't have the power anymore.
Damn it.
I fire
Next
you
time.
all. It's just me next time.
No. The next week, it's like, all right, guys, welcome to Crossplay. I'm Ignacio Rojas, and I'm joined by no one because it's just me.
Yeah.
Wait,
You're
let's do that to end it. What is one thing that would get your gamer cards revoked? Like how I don't like first-person shooters.
Oh man.
Get my
I'm
gamer
not that
card
big of a fan
revoked.
of RPGs, but also I do like some RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know other than that.
Interesting.
The Witcher
Because
3
I'm
was
also
bad.
not a Oh,
That was
sorry.
a
go.
bad game.
Which one?
Which one?
The Witcher 3.
Oh, The Witcher 3 is awesome.
I mean, I never finished it, but it
I
was
fucking
good.
hated it.
Why?
That's so. Oh my gosh.
I got stuck in a loop of not having money, so I couldn't buy healing items,
Orange.
and I couldn't fix my swords. So it was like once I finally got my money, I was like almost dead, and so it was like okay, I can heal myself. And then try and go fight and get more money, but I don't have a good weapon. And so I can't really kill these really easy characters. And so like, I'm just stuck and I hate it. I was like,
you see, that's on you
terrible.
for not being good at balancing your budget.
I have another confession to make that you're.
No,
just
you only get
reminding me of.
one. You only get one. You got to save your other ones for other weeks.
Wait,
No,
no,
I wanna hear it. I
Let
wanna
me
hear it.
say
I wanna
it.
get
So
mad.
I loved The Witcher 3, and then when they announced Cyberpunk, I was like, awesome, a Cyberpunk third-person action adventure game. So freaking lit. Let's go. And then they said first-person shooter, and I was like, I am not excited for this game at all. And then, have you guys ever seen the meme of that little girl with the house burning behind her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me, the little girl smiling with Cyberpunk burning behind me. That's my confession.
I guess my confession is I never played Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, or Silver.
Ugh. Ooh, those are the best ones.
I never played them.
Yeah, I would go for the remakes on that one, but
No, I know,
those
but like
games
I never
came out so long ago. I don't think that's that big of a deal right now.
Yeah.
Well, like nowadays
If
they
you
don't
had
matter,
said
but like
Pokemon at
then.
all.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I
there
think-
we
There
go.
you go.
I think
Have you played
I think
Pokemon?
sports
Any
games
Pokemon?
are pointless.
We've
You should
all
just
lost our gamer cards.
play the real sport.
We've all lost it.
Madden
Wait,
is
Alan,
a
have you played any Pokemon
turn-based
game?
strategy game,
It is.
What?
if you think about it.
Which one?
Madden, yeah, it is. Madden.
Madden.
Oh, yeah.
Turn-based strategy game. There you
I don't
go.
play
And with
sports
that, ladies
Wait,
and
Alan
gentlemen.
didn't answer my question.
Oh,
No,
what
no,
was it saying?
I said I don't play sports games. I didn't know that.
No, have you played any Pokemon game?
Oh yeah. I played Ruby. I played Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Diamond, and then everything after that.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Because if
There
you
you
have
go.
said no Pokemon games, then it would have been a problem.
I'd
Be like, I'm a big Pokemon fan. What have you played? None of them.
I've only watched the anime.
Oh my god, I can't even do that. But
And with that, let's
I
wrap
played with
things
the
up.
card game.
Gino, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me over on Twitter at Gino_VTerry.
There you go. Alan, where can they find you?
you should watch me stream any game I want to play or that you can suggest 3 days a week at twitch.tv/AzurePKK, where I stream and get scared sometimes.
Ah.
I suggest you play Monopoly.
Monopoly. I got Monopoly for the PlayStation. I could do that.
No,
Yeah.
the board game.
But my camera's not set up for that.
Ignacio, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Ignacio Rojas B. That's IGNACIOROJASB.
Nice.
You guys can find me at Kyle Springer on Twitter and Instagram. You guys want to stay up to date with our shows, we are at The Whatnots on Twitter. Don't forget, Wednesday night, I'm assuming around 6:30 or 7 p.m. Eastern time,
Yep.
we will be streaming on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/The Whatnot. So come join us. Come say hi. We would love to have you stop by and chat with us.
But-
That would be a blast. Go like, share, subscribe, sell your soul, tell a foe, tell a friend, whatever you need to do to help us spread the word. This year, we really want to push, go rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. That would help us out a ton. I know that every podcast out there says the exact same thing, but please, it really, really does help us spread the word, especially for us here, since we are just small-time creators. That would mean the world to us. So please go help us out there if you got some nice things to say. So that would be wonderful.
Hey guys,
With that though, oh yes,
I think Monopoly has an online feature. You guys want to play Monopoly online?
God,
I
please,
have
no.
it for the PS4.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
You guys will have to stream some Monopoly then or something.
Online,
out.
let's do it.
With that, we will be back next week. We will see you all then. Bye.
Good
Bye.
night and goodbye.
Bye.